morning, folks. Hey, it's Brian here, the land guy, and we are getting ready to start our next project. And it includes cleaning out this old, nasty fence row that is located between the railroad and the landowner. This fence down through here is really poor, and you can see down through there, it gets really, really woolly. In fact, many of the places the fence is non-existent because of all the overgrowth that has happened between the railroad and the landowner. And what we're gonna be doing is we've got a 320 excavator that I'm gonna be running to get this thing all cleaned up. We're gonna make some really nice tall piles. Now I'm sure you're wondering, well, how long is that fence, Brian? It is a half-mile long that we're going to be tearing out. And the railroad has hired me because I have the proper insurances to be able to complete this project, because anytime you are on the railroad right away, you've got to have all kinds of red tape insurance just to be able to work on these projects. So stay tuned. We're going to be working on this dude all week long. This ought to be pretty fun running this dude, and it should make some nice, easy work to get this mess done. So you're probably wondering, Brian, why did you choose an excavator for this fence clearing project and not a track loader? Well, one thing that we're doing is we are trying to separate that wire from the brush and the trees. And with this excavator, what you can do, and I did earlier, is I grabbed that fence, because it was a woven wire fence, and I pulled all that wire out over here, and I've got it all bunched up, and I'm keeping it separate from the brush. And that was something the landowner specifically requested be done, and I said that is no problem. It's just going to take a different machine to do that. Plus, with this excavator, you can knock over some pretty good trees and pick those dudes up. One thing I'll have to for sure do is bring in a finish dozer when I'm complete and get all this bladed up really nice up through there. So about these trees, you want to make sure you don't push them over onto the track. So we're going to kind of work them loose and just lay them over here to the side. Just like that. You just pick that dude up, carry it around here and drop it off. Well, I've made some pretty good progress on this old fence row here. I've made it that far, and I actually even got a late start this morning, waiting on this excavator to be delivered. And I think we're gonna stop right here for now, and we'll be back in the morning. But we've got this old tree here that looked like the wind had blown it over at some time. And we'll get this dude out of there and start some more piles down through there. But I'm pretty impressed with this 320. It's done a really great job. It is a big machine. I'm gonna get some fuel put in it. That way we'll be ready to go first thing in the morning. I've got 3 large piles down through there. So one of the things I'm doing is I have decided that I'm going to kind of get everything pulled up and just throw up here on where the railroad right-of-way is, for the sake of trying to keep the field as clean as I can. And then what I'll end up doing is, once I get a whole bunch of this pulled up, then I'll go back and I'll start making a big pile out here in the field. Because the contract called for, we cannot stack anything on the railroad right-of-way. Nothing can be burned according to the Federal Railroad Association, the FRA. So that's why it was agreed upon to kind of keep everything on the landowner, and these piles can be burnt at a later time. Since I've got to come and bring a finish dozer in here anyway and get this all cleaned up, I'm just going to keep all the pieces of wood and dirt and everything here until I get ready to build my piles. I learned yesterday, I kind of pulled everything out in the field and it kind of made a mess of things, and it took a little bit longer for me to clean up than really what I was wanting. And I'm also going to keep a few posts in the ground such as this here. That way when the fence builders come in here, they'll be able to put the fence exactly in the same place it was. Gosh darn it. I ended up hitting a tree with my drone. I was trying to operate that excavator and fly at the same time, and goodness, this thing hit the tree here. Looks like that is not right. Some reason it looks like it's bent up there. Brian, I guess I should not fly and try to operate equipment. Bet it won't even fly now. It's all cockeyed. Yeah, I can't even get it to fold up. Well, I guess that's a no-go. I don't know, what do? You can't win them all, I guess. Well, I think what I'm going to end up doing, since the drone is no longer able to fly, I just fired up that remote and it says it's not able to fly. So evidently there's some issues with the thing. I'm going to go ahead and get a tripod set up, and then I'll put my Action 5 Osmo on time lapse, and you can watch me take care of this brush and trees and everything here, and I'll be swinging around and throwing it up there in that pile. All right, I got you guys a buddy. Let's go check this thing out. All right, it's gonna be right here between these tree trunks. What is it? Hello there, little rat. Hello. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! You didn't know they'd like a squirrel. There's two of them out here. That one went up in the tree. Watch me step on the next one. Well, I don't know where he went, but that dude's right up there now. I guess I'll have to find something else for supper tonight. I've got a large cherry tree here that I need to get pushed over, but I do not want it to go that way across the tracks, and it is leaning that way. So I'm going to do my best to see if I can get that dude to fall straight that way. There she goes. Perfect. Now my little mouse was on that tree, I think, or that rat. I don't know where he went. Oh well. Now I'm gonna get this dirt off here. What I'm going to do next, that's a big old tall tree, and my pile is not like super long because I've been breaking off the end of the limbs. So that's what I'm going to do now. There we go. Pile pretty uniformed and tight here. We'll put that dude up on the pile. See how steady I can be. Something you got to be careful is as soon as you let go of that tree and it on this side of the pile and it's not supposed to be, it will actually roll back into your excavator. So you got to be very careful that you stick that thing right up on top. I have to go forward a little more. There we go. Take my thumb out, give it a good pat. We're good to go. Made some really good progress today with our job. I'm just missing my drone. Man, I hate that that thing went kapooey on me. I'd love to give you guys some overhead view of what we've been able to get done so far today, but I guess we'll just show you with this. Made it up here to this power line that goes across to this farmhouse over here. We're just a little over halfway done. But I've noticed that the closer I get towards the other end, the thicker the trees are, and this bank is a little bit higher from the tracks. We're still going to be able to get it accomplished this week. We're going to be getting an early start this morning. And I meant to say earlier, if you are new to the channel, welcome. We appreciate you tuning in. If you've not had a chance to subscribe to the channel, please do. But otherwise, we're going to put some diesel in this machine. We got her all checked out this morning, got her started up and warming up. We're going to go ahead and get some fuel in this thing. May take a little bit to fill this thing up. It's got a monster tank on it, which that should not surprise me. Just want to look this bucket over here real quick. Anytime you're messing with trees, you've got a bunch of limbs going everywhere, it's always good to take a look at all the hydraulic systems just to make sure all the hoses and fittings are all in pretty good shape. I may have to get my flashlight out of the truck. But I did take a look at this yesterday when we shut down. Super important to always keep it checked out. This big old plate they've got welded on here. But yeah, this thing has actually been pretty impressive. Even though I can't use a drone because this drone went kapooey, I hate that, but I did look at some others online. I can get this one repaired, but they said that getting it repaired is almost going to be as close to the cost of that DJI Flip. So I'm possibly thinking about getting another one just to have an extra one on hand. Hang it right up there. Yeah, that dude's full. here. So we started this morning down there by that utility pole and worked our way this way. And I'm basically throwing everything up here. Here in just a minute, I've made me a little opening so I can get up here and let this be my staging point, and I'll grab all that brush and start piling it onto that pile. But I'm going to continue to work this way, and it's getting more woollier and more thicker as I go north. Something that's neat to think about is this same railroad track through here that I'm working on is the same track that my grandpa, Louis Bertolotto, used to run when he worked for the railroad. And this was back in the 60s, and he was a conductor. He's the guy that drove the train, and he traveled this same line. So this same area that I'm working on now is the same area that he looked at every day. I thought that was pretty neat. He retired in 1976, the year I was born. But he spent his whole career driving trains for the railroad. Those were back in the Frisco days. We are on the downhill side, and I am super glad. It's been a long last few days getting out here starting at dark in the mornings and working late. We've made really good progress. We are coming down here to where it's going to be meeting the corner of the property, and that's where we're going to be stopping at. But down in this neck of the woods, it's really thick and got some pretty good sized trees here. A lot of them old nasty sassafras trees can get really, really big. I got a big old rolls of wire there that I've been pulling out from this fence. But down here in this corner, it's going to take a little bit of time, and that was something that the landowner and I discussed. We're going to try to get all this corner cleaned out. That way, whenever the fence builder comes in here, he'll be able to have plenty of space to build a nice clean pipe corner. But I think there has been some storm damage here from previous years, because it looked like the neighbor here put a temporary fence from here to there, because the original corner kind of went out a diagonal and it met in there. But it looks like this old tree here has been uprooted for quite some time. But this is just a tangled mess in here. I'm going to get all of that on the railroad right away, get all of this pulled out of here, and we'll probably end up making another pile in here. You got to be super careful with projects such as this, especially if there's a lot of vines. Man, I had a close call a minute ago. I was grabbing some trees. You ended up having a vine that went up to the top, and it broke a limb off, and it swung around and almost came in the side glass because it was still hanging from that vine. But I've had some issues in the past with vines, and they're super dangerous because they're latching on and growing up to these trees, and you begin to pull on the vines of the trees, and then it begins to snap off other top of the trees, and those things can come right on top of you. Because I'm just ripping, snorting, pulling, whatever you want to call it, getting all these trees out of here. But when I bring that finish dozer in here, I'll be able to get all this dressed up. We're down here on this corner, got all this cleared out, and it was absolutely a mess. But let me show you how great of a corner we got down here. Check that out. This is the property line right here and right here. And look at that fence. This is the kind of fence that we had going up through there. It just wasn't very good at all. And here's the neighbors. What we have here was a bunch of trees that was down here in this corner. And after speaking with my contact with the railroad, of course the neighbor's been involved too, he's wanting to know if we can get this all cleaned up here and put a nice three-way corner here. So after doing my talking with railroad folks, they said, yes, let's go ahead and make this right. Well, I ended up getting done with the excavator and it's getting ready to go home. Caterpillar's getting ready to come and pick it up, and they're going to be dropping off a finished dozer for me to work with for next week. But I got a little skid steer here, and you're probably wondering, well, was that in the plans? Well, here's what my thought was. Stacking all these piles out here, there was quite a few limbs, different dirt piles and stuff out here in this pasture. And since I'm kind of picky about how these jobs turn out and how they look, I didn't want this with my name on it. So what I've done is I ended up going and picking up a little Kubota 65-2 with a tooth bucket. And there's a reason why I chose a tooth bucket. And you'll see here in just a minute, but I can get that thing down where those teeth are barely scraping the ground and pick up any limbs or rocks or dirt. And I can kind of get this dressed up. I did this little section here just a minute ago. I have that dozer coming out here, and I probably could have got it with that dozer, but if you know anything about running a straight blade dozer or a six-way blade dozer anyway, it has a tendency to kind of want to cut into the soil or cut into the grass, and it's a little harder to see. You really can't see in front of your blade. But with one of these things, you can actually see your teeth and see what's going on in front of you. That's why I chose to bring a skid steer out here to kind of get everything tidied up that's out here in the pasture, and we'll save everything over there where the fence line and the railroad right-of-way is with the finished dozer. All right, so here's what we've done. We've done this area here so you can see the difference there. And then over here is what we're doing. And we're working our way that direction to the north. And I'm just kind of pushing everything that's in this field here up there to where when I bring that dozer in, I'll be able to take care of that and not have to be out here trying to pill up any topsoil or the possibilities of it. I don't want to do that. And I want something that I can see. Hey folks, just got this finished up with this skid steer and it did a really good job. You saw in the video there, those teeth are almost like fingers, and you can come along there and you can pick up those limbs. You can do it with a smooth bucket, but if you use a smooth bucket, it's almost like using the palm of your hand trying to get that stuff picked up or pushed. But with those teeth, they're just like fingers sticking out there. That's why I like using that tooth bucket. But anyway, we went a little bit extra on this particular project because I didn't want those limbs and brush and sticks hanging out here on the landowner. So we were able to get all of that smoothed up, pushed up over here on this side. We've got 10 large brush piles, lots of them. And these dudes are monsters. They're going to have a great time burning these once some of this wood begins to season out. This will make a really, really nice fire. But as far as in getting this fence row all cleaned out, I think that's pretty much going to be the end of the video. So I want to thank you all for watching, for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you also give us a thumbs up, leave us a comment. We love having you on the channel. We'll catch you all in the next land video. Bye-bye.
Small, just give a try. Nobody beats the land guy. Need it cleared, need it flat.